Hey everyone, this is Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Today I want to show you how to put together a SimPure water filtration system. Now this will be an unboxing and a demo video. And what's included with this kit, it's the SimPure Y7P-Black White or BW upgraded Countertop RO reverse osmosis water filter dispenser. It's got the RO system and the UV sterilization combined. And it also includes a extra RO filter and an extra CF or carbon filter replacement. Now this is part of a bundle you can get off their website, and it's SIM capital PURE. And this would be great for somebody with an apartment, temporary housing, vacationing, trailer, RV, because you can take this pretty much anywhere you have an electrical outlet to plug it in, and you have availability to water. So this is an alternative to having an RO system underneath your sink, and it would be a great addition to any kind of water filtration system you might have at your house. All right, let's open it up. Oh, isn't that great when you have a box inside of a box? This particular countertop RO system comes from a company called Membrane Solutions Corporation, and they're out of Auburn, Washington. In the United States for all my foreign viewers. We have an instruction manual. It's like a drip pan for the water. Styrofoam. Here's the main unit. Nothing else inside there. It looks like one of the bumpers came off the bottom. Now, before we get going any farther, the CF filter is a composite filter, and the RO filter is an RO membrane filter. So the next step that we'll want to work on is getting it ready to put the water in, so we can remove any kind of plastics or tape that they included during shipping. And if you want to make a copy of that or keep that handy, that is actually a quick guide to the indicator lights on what they mean. We can remove the plastic. And then on the back side, where the water goes, we'll go ahead and remove the tape. Once the tape is removed, we'll go ahead and remove the tank itself. And you'll be able to fill this up with tap water. And you can see that's where you open it up to change your filters. There's your composite filter and your RO membrane filter. Once you've got your water filled up, you're ready to put it on the back of the RO filter or the RO filtering system. Now I do have a TDS or total dissolved solids reader, and this isn't the end all beat all of water quality, but I wanted to check it just before we got started. And you can see it's showing 0 right now. You can see that. So we'll put it in the tap water, and it's reading 543 parts per million. So almost 550. And then we take it back out, it's reading 0. Put it back in the water, 543. 543. So that's before any of the filtering happens. So we can put the water container on the back of the RO filtering system. And there are indications. It says minimum here, medium, and then we have a max for water fill. So we'll close the top lid, and then we'll turn it around and plug it in. Now once we plug it in, the system will automatically flush the membrane for about 30 seconds, then the filtering indicator light will come on. So we'll put the drip tray under there, and it's magnetic, it sticks right to it. We'll stick that there in case we need it. Now we'll plug it in. You can see it says pure water shortage, so that means there's no water in there right now in the internal tank. I'll show you a picture of what goes on in there. So it's filtering and the UV is on. This is an internal picture of what happens in there. This is your feed tank on the back. And here are your filters. And then your internal tank, once everything gets filtered, is here. So this is not an automatic dispensing unit. It has to fill this internal tank here before it can dispense any water. Now the filtering light is solid, the UV light is on. So it's flushing the membranes. And remember, the membrane flushing is the internal flushing. So the flushed water is returned to the feed water tank, and no water is coming out of the water spout. So when the filtering indicator light turns off, which can take about 10 minutes, that means that the internal pure water reservoir is full. You can see the volume of water is going down. We started up here, and now it's about half full. Now once your unit stops filtering, you'll want to go ahead and flush the internal reservoir. So we'll go ahead and push the flushing button. The flushing button is the first one on the left. Tap that once. And what this is doing is draining your internal reservoir. Now we'll have to do this process 3 to 5 times, whenever you change cartridges or when you set this up for the first time. So after it's done flushing the internal reservoir, it'll attempt to fill it back up. So the system will continue to filter when the internal pure water reservoir is empty. Waiting until the filtering indicator light turns off again and pushing the flushing button again to empty the internal pure water reservoir. So the system's not ready to use yet, but I want to see what TDS we're looking at right now. About 106, but you have a lot of things coming out of the filters, so it's not quite ready to use yet. Go ahead and empty this water out. Now once the change water indicator light starts flashing, we empty the remaining water in the feed water tank and we'll start the process over again. Like. Now we'll add the next batch of water into it. So if there's no operation within 5 minutes, or if you don't touch anything within 5 minutes, it will enter standby mode. Now to wake it up from standby mode, just push any of the buttons. I think the lid wasn't all the way down. That's why it didn't turn on. So it was flushing there. Now it's filtering. Now we can flush the internal reservoir. Once the internal reservoir is flushed out, it'll go into filtering and resupplying that internal reservoir. And you'll see the pure water shortage comes up. And now it's filtering. So this is the second round. Now this is the second round of the system flushing process. So we'll check TDS on the second batch of water. And we're showing about 109, 107, 105 parts per million. Just a few operating parameters. This SimPure, the production rate is 8.8 fluid ounces or 260 milliliters per minute. It can produce 4.1 gallons per hour or 15.6 liters per hour. The filter life expectancy is 528 gallons or 2,000 liters. Your feed water type, it's municipal potable tap water or well water. The feed water temperature must be between 41 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 degrees and 38 degrees Celsius. The rated voltage for this unit is 110 volts, 60 hertz alternating current. The rated power is 30 watts. The dimensions are 17.3 inches by 15.7 inches by 7.4 inches. or 440 by 400 by 188 millimeters. The weight of the unit, it's 14.8 pounds, 6.7 kilograms. As far as your storage reservoirs, your main water or your feed water reservoir is 1.3 gallons or 5 liters. Your pure water reservoir internal is 0.4 gallons or 1.5 liters. And your feed water total dissolved solid level should be below 500 parts per million. Now what I'm showing you here, it's actually a little bit over. My feed water is about 550 parts per million. But for what they recommend under 500 parts per million. And while it's filtering, we can go over the buttons. This is the flushing button, 6 ounces for dispensing, 12 ounces, 15 ounces, or the reset button. And you'll see CF or RO blinking when it's getting near time to change it. I think it's at 90% used up. And they will be solid when it's time to change those filters. Filtering, UV, change filter, or pure water shortage. So that is all the buttons and the displays that come up on the panel. So when you buy new filters and you install the filters, you'll hit the reset button and hold it, and that will reset the time on your filters. Now for the third internal flushing, we're at 70 parts per million. So it is going down the more we flush the system. And once it's done filtering, we'll go ahead and flush the internal tank again. Now your UV indicator light, when it's steady, while you're purifying water, the UV light will operate, staying on a further 1 hour after the pure water tank is full. Upon startup, when the system is reconnected to the power outlet, the UV will function for the first 3 hours and then shut off automatically. While it's filtering, when the system is filtering the water, the UV light will always operate to help maintain microbial control of the purified water. During standby, the UV light will operate for 15 minutes every 20 minutes to help maintain microbial control of the purified water. And like I said, it goes into standby after 5 minutes of non-use. And as far as I know, there's no replacement of the UV light. So I don't know about the longevity. And I don't know if there's any out there on the market that have replaceable UV lights that are countertop. I know a lot of the under sink RO systems have replaceable UV lights. So that may be something in the future that can be looked at or added to these systems. So now up at the top it shows change water and pure water shortage. So I'll go ahead and empty the water that came out of the internal reservoir, and I will dump the main tank and refill that also. So this will be the third round once the main tank gets refilled this next time. And we'll see what we get for our fourth bucket of water here. We're showing 101 parts per million. Now for this third round of system flushing, I went ahead and used water from the refrigerator, filtered water. So we'll see if that's a little bit lower TDS. And the number for that would be about 498, so a little bit less than tap water. And that's with the refrigerator water, or the refrigerator filtered water. So we'll see what we come up with when we have our internal reservoir flushing. We'll see what numbers we come up with. That's where the water is after the first internal reservoir filling. We'll see what the TDS looks like. And it's reading 097. Zero 096, 097. Now we'll check the TDS on the second flushing of the system here for the third round. And we're looking at 76, 74, 73 parts per million. So this one shows 77 parts per million. Now just a quick overview of total dissolved solids in parts per million. Now 0 to 50 is ideal drinking water from RO, microfiltration, etc. 50 to 100 is perfect for carbon filtration, mountain springs, aquifers. 101 to 199 is considered hard water. 201 to 299 it says marginally acceptable. Now 301 to 499 is considered high total dissolved solids water from the tap or mineral springs. Now your average tap water is going to be anywhere from 170 to 399 or even up to 499. And anywhere from 500 plus total dissolved solids in parts per million is considered the US EPA's maximum contamination level. We're starting out at 0 parts per million again. So our reading now, we're getting 69 parts per million. Which is a pretty good reading, whereas we started at 500. So once you've completed your third to fifth round of system flushing, this would be after filter changes or when you first buy the unit, you want to go ahead and remove your main tank, fill it with fresh water, and for dispensing, you'll have these options up here. So we'll push 12 ounce. Now if you're filling up gallon jugs or something bigger than what these 3 dispensing ounces show, you can push the flushing and that will flush your whole internal purified water tank or reservoir. And so what I'm seeing is about an 86% reduction in total dissolved solids. That's the numbers I'm getting because I started with about 500 for the tank, and then I'm getting around 65 to 70 on the lowest end of the parts per million for filtering water. Well, I hope this has been helpful. This has been Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Good luck on your next home or automotive project. Thanks for watching, And don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment.